can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play. And the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30. What a run by George Kittle. Taking on everybody.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
All right, so the Bus Bulls, the 3-1, the Nuggets, Warriors, that's 3-1. There's so many 3-1 series in the first round of the NBA playoffs. It's absolutely ridiculous. How you doing? This is Monday. Weekend was pretty good. How you doing? Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson on tap. Cole Johnson, the other half, is convalescing. 3 weeks removed from cancer surgery. Give that man a round of applause. Talk to him this weekend. He's doing great. He says hello to everybody. Now, you see this screen, you think I'm doing this solo, but I'm not, because as I am always joined every Monday, and this is of no exception, my man, Stuck in My Mind podcast extraordinaire, Mr. Wise, that's with the Z, not an S, El Jefe is joining me. Yeah, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Everything is really good, man. I cannot complain at all. So on the show today, we're going to go talk about the NBA playoffs, the first round. We'll lightly touch on the NFL draft. Yes, I know the NFL actually is having their draft. It's that time of year again. And there's just a few things I have to get off my chest.
Hold on, but before we begin,
yes,
before we begin, there's something I really want to get off my chest.
Okay, well, we will. All right, we will begin with that. Okay, so what is burdening you to where you have to release, sir?
Bro, I am so sorry to the Cleveland Guardians for what the hell the Bleacher Creatures did, man. Not seriously. As a Yankee fan, that was a disgrace to me. I don't think, like, we are some of the most passionate fans, and what they did was really reprehensible, and I'm not proud of that moment. And me being a fan, that's what I'm saying. That's why I had to speak upon this. Me being a diehard Yankee fan since birth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something I just had to get put out there, that doesn't represent the fan base in total, because that was a classless act, and like I said, as a true diehard Yankee fan, I'm Cleveland Guardians. That's not us. We've apologized for that craziness.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I know many Yankee fans, of course, you being one of them, but I know many before I even met you. And yeah, all of them have been pretty classy that I know of, but I have known a few that have been obnoxious. So,
of course.
So I'm not surprised that there's a few in the idiot brigade, but so that the thing is, to me, you're going to have a few of those who are idiots in every fan base. It doesn't matter.
This is true.
Yeah. So I don't think the actions of those fans embody what all Yankee fans are.
Listen, personally, I would look at video. Everyone that got caught throwing anything, they should be banned. And that's just my opinion. That's my opinion, but that's just how I feel as a fan. That is just because you spend your money to go to these games doesn't allow you to do this. This is ridiculous, and it's these men out there doing their jobs because they're getting paid to do this. They're doing their jobs. You're here to enjoy yourself and be entertained.
Oh yeah, there's no question. And look, I'm an Astros fan. I make no bones about that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Astros fan, cheater, Astros. Yes, I know. Bump you. If there was people in Houston doing that, I would want them to be banned too. That type of behavior is not acceptable anywhere at any time, no matter who it is. No question about it. No question about it. All right, so if you want to interact like my man, like the folks here at BS3, as we're also on TV on there, when we're on their network on Roku. Good morning to you guys. All you have to do is go into YouTube. We are live there. Yes, youtube.com. And then type Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 50. That's Snowman in the Morning 5 to the 0. And you will be amongst those like my man Andrew, like my man Ryan, like my man Sig Diggy, like my girl Trisha, like Latine, like my man Nate. And haven't seen you in a minute. Haven't seen the critical critical Broncos fan either. It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, join the throng because the interaction is where we get our juice. Definitely. And with that, all right, here is the couple things I had to get on my chest, so I'll just begin one at a time. I find it interesting, funny, and rather sad that you have Bronsexuals who are so amped about the fact that Kevin Durant is having such a horrible time in his playoff series against the Celtics. I've been hearing all weekend long. So this is the guy who's clutch. So this is the guy who's better than LeBron James. So this is the guy who you say is the best offensive player possibly of all time. He doesn't measure up to LeBron. All of that type of junk. It's just gotten me, as I would used to say back when I was younger, amped. But I'm amped no more because that type of behavior has created in me a new series, a new segment that we're going to debut today. Actually, we're going to debut right now on Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, because those Bronsexuals in regards to Kevin Durant are simply prisoners of the moment. All right, so seeing these comparisons is just getting annoying. And then you juxtapose it all by saying things such as, quote, if LeBron were in that same situation as Durant, he would not be down 3-0 to the Celtics. Close quote.
Hold on, wait. Are the Lakers in the playoffs? I just want to know. I'm asking a question. Are the Lakers in the playoffs? Oh, no? Oh, they're not in the playoffs. Oh, so why are these Bronsexuals even talking? Why are they even talking? Like, they don't have nothing better else. They always got to make it about themselves. They have to make it about themselves. Why? And like LeBron tweeted the other day, I won't. Whatever he tweeted.
Oh, yes, I love that one. I love that tweet.
Like, are you crazy? Like,
I love that tweet.
Dude, you're home. Enjoy it. Like, take the vacation, man. Like, leave it alone. Like, we don't want to hear about you. You're not relevant right now.
I love that tweet.
You're not relevant right now. Like, right now, it's nothing about nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. You're not in the playoffs. Why am I even hearing about you? Why are your fans even talking about you? I know fanboys. I get it. I understand. Like, y'all dudes need to get a life or something, man.
I agree.
Seriously.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
There's playoffs going on. Like, I'd rather pay attention to the playoffs than to hear about I won't.
Thank you.
Like, I don't care about that, dude. Dude, you're not playing right now.
I love it though. Oh, but in the tweet that Wise is referencing goes as follows. Quote, I can / will not miss the postseason again for my career. This hurt. Okay, back to watching these games.
Yeah, continue to watch these games.
Close quote.
Yeah, continue to watch them because, when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I know Cole is gonna. I was really imagining what she was gonna.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I saw that. I was like, okay, this is gonna be Monday for sure. Like this is prime. This is why I've always said that I do not get on LeBron James fans. They actually are respectful. They actually say, he's my favorite player, but I respect the sport enough to know that he may not be the best to ever do it, but I like what he does better than anybody else. I have no problem with that at all. Because, and I have friends, they don't, in the summer, if I'm at church and it's not July or August, I get yanked aside by one of my friends and they say, man, LeBron's the best of all time, right? I'm like, it's July, it's August. NBA, we don't even have to think about it until the fall. Why are you talking about this now? I don't deal with that. I don't deal with my friends who are LeBron James fans. They don't cut like that. Bronsexuals, every day, 24 hours a day, no matter if it's July or January, you're all about wanting to denigrate anybody in lieu of LeBron, or you want to big up LeBron in lieu of everybody, and you want to do it every single day. And here he is. He's on a team that has been disqualified for the playoffs, and it's been so for at least the last 3 weeks. And you all still want to come with takes like, quote, LeBron, when he played against these same Celtics of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and Marcus Smart, he beat them by himself. And Durant can't even beat this same crew with Kyrie Irving. Close quote.
But what? He beat them by himself where? When he was in Cleveland?
All right, so
when he was in Cleveland? No, I was just asking. You talking about when he was in Cleveland?
So apparently in the 2018 Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron did not suit up with the other 14 players that's on the Cleveland Cavaliers team, and LeBron by himself beat 5 people.
So you talking about the Cleveland team that had? Wasn't Kyrie on that team?
No, Kyrie was off that team then.
Oh, but Kevin Love was on that team.
Kevin Love was on it, yeah.
Kevin Love was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I don't understand that. And we're talking about and when they probably beat them, they were probably first, second year, right? They weren't really.
Oh, Jason Tatum, rookie season.
Rookie season, right?
That was in Jason Tatum's rookie and Jaylen Brown's rookie season.
Yes. Right? And they hadn't grown into the studs that they are today.
No.
They weren't seasoned and ripe, like kind of like prime, right? Like right now,
right.
Like
not even close. Yes, not even close to how they are now.
They didn't know the NBA ups and downs. They had their struggles. They didn't know what it was to be a pro at that time.
Right.
You talking about that Celtic team?
Yes,
that Celtic team, not this one now.
No.
That has. They are superstars, and I'm not a Boston Celtic fan. They are superstars. These two, and then you have a defensive menace and Marcus Smart.
Shout out to the now current defensive player of the year, by the way,
and a player that I really don't like personally, but he is a baller, Robert Williams. So I got to give the man his props. He when he played my Knicks, he bust there, but.
That dude's a beast in the post.
So even though I would give him his utmost respect, and yeah, oh man, I don't. How can I put this? Yeah, they smoking some real good shit. They really is, man. They really are.
They smoking. It's real good that what they're smoking.
It's some real good shit. Some real good shit. Like hit me up and let me know where y'all got it from, because because this is like crazy.
And I would love to say to you, look, this is a late April Fool's joke that I'm making all this up. No, I saw this all this past weekend. That right there. I was like, oh, I don't believe this. And then another one had to say, quote, the 39-year-old LeBron would not be 3-0 to the Celtics. He would actually beat them. Close quote. Now I said to that fool, if the 37-year-old LeBron could not, I mean, if the 37-year-old LeBron would allow himself to get skunked by 28 at home to the Pelicans, what made you think that same 37-year-old could beat the Celtics 4 times?
Bitch, are you for real?
It's things like this. It just is like that's why I'm amped, because it's like the acts that Bronsexuals have to grind, especially toward Durant, is utterly shameful.
You know,
It's shameful.
I figured something out. Like I really have. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about him. I'm gonna stop talking about him. It's like we're fueling these Bronsexuals by talking about them. Like I no longer want them in existence, so I'm gonna stop speaking about them.
I don't either. The problem, though,
I know it's good for ratings, though.
1, 2, they just don't stop.
I know, and it's troubling. It's troubling.
And it's
what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do when he retires?
I did a
Are we gonna have
video
to put
on
some interventions or something? Like, are we gonna have to put a hotline up for these people so they can relive memories or something like?
It is funny you said that. I did a video on Cold Sports with a Z on YouTube, and I actually said, how would you all react when this guy is retired? What would you talk about then? Because you all will miss his presence when he is gone from the everyday sports landscape. You will miss him because you won't know what else to talk about. Now, you and I, that won't be a problem. We're sports heads. So we'll find something to talk about other than this guy, or the fandom, or the obsessive fandom.
That's like, all right, see, I love DJ. I'm a big Derek Jeter fan, right?
Oh.
But I don't worship the ground.
Respect the guy. Yeah.
I don't worship the ground he walks on. I'm saying I give him his props. He's one of the best to play the game ever. And he did it during an era where people were not clean.
Mm-hmm. Which that's what I find remarkable.
So for me, it's like, all right, but I'm no longer living on those Derek Jeter dreams. I moved on and found me a new fan favorite. Like that's what you do. Like when you love a team, you don't you love the player when he's on your team. But I'm sure if DJ had left the Yankees, and not played his whole career the Yankees, eventually I would have found another favorite player. Like,
of course,
that's what I am. I'm a fan. But for me to just like these, all right, Bronsexuals, you people are delusional. I've come to that conclusion.
Yes,
I've come to that conclusion that you people are delusional.
Thank you.
Like seriously, I'm not a medical professional on that, but yeah, like I don't know what's going on. I could imagine what you're gonna go through when he does retire.
Oh my gosh!
Like we might have to start hotlines. We might have to put a 24/7 LeBron channel for you guys to get your fix. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start a 24/7 LeBron channel for you guys.
Oh my gosh.
And help y'all with the transition.
Not a hotline to help them deal with LeBron when he retires. I love it. I love it. Good morning to you, Ryan. It's a pleasure that you joined us, brother. That's right. New week, new opportunities, new mercies, brother. Much blessings to you as always, Ryan. It's like what Six said one time. We talked about the Lakers, but Bronsexuals this way. Bronsexuals are this way too. They literally are the gift that keeps on giving. It's as if, it's like, okay, I'm exhausting all of what I have to say about them, and then they come up with new stuff, and I'm like, I try, man. I really do try, but they just come up with new stuff. They just come up with new stuff.
That's just like with anything. It's like you can't make shit up, man. There's certain things you just can't make up. Like
no. Oh, no, and this would be the last of this segment. This is one more quote that I saw. I think in the week leading up to the weekend. Quote: without LeBron James in the playoffs, these playoffs are missing something, and I can't put my finger on it. Close quote. And you know what I said in return? I said, you know what this playoffs is missing? It is missing
Absolutely not a goddamn thing.
It is missing boredom. That's what this playoffs is missing.
Damn!
You know what it's missing?
It's not missing anything.
It's not missing their ass. That's what it's not missing. It's not missing them. It's not when was it? When was it the first time that LeBron didn't make he didn't make the playoffs? Like a few years ago, right?
Oh yeah. Well, the last time was 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, 2019, right? He didn't make the playoffs. I didn't. Besides me, every other NBA fan that I knew was so happy that they didn't have to see LeBron. Like fans of the game were like,
right.
Oh, no playoffs without LeBron. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, because they were sick of, even when they weren't playing, they were sick of. And leading off tonight in sports, LeBron James, ... They were sick of that, and I don't blame them. It's just, it's such a man. The moment I saw that the Lakers were officially eliminated from the playoffs, nothing to do with them. I could care less about the Lakers, and I actually could care less about LeBron. It was good. They won't have to lead off every single thing in the playoffs with LeBron James this and LeBron James that. Fueling the fire of these Bronsexuals saying, this guy is greater than everybody else. Look what he's done here, and look what he's done here, and look what he's amassed here. No. So I'm thankful that we have these new stars emerging like Anthony Edwards, John Morant. I'm happy that we're seeing Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown cook.
And that's why I'm loving the new NBA, because you're moving away from just being that singular star. You carrying having them carry, where now you have budding superstars all over the league that can carry the NBA. Not just one. You have multiple players that can carry the NBA. That now you're excited to watch. Oh, the Celtics is on.
Right.
Oh, I could see Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Oh, the Grizzlies on. I get to see John Morant. Oh man, who even would have thought? Damn, I want to see Minnesota play.
Right.
I like that Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, right. This is seriously, man, this is the first time in a long while I've actually said, man, you know what? All these 8 matches, 7 of them are really good. One I could care less about. And the one I could care less about is the 76ers Raptors, but not necessarily because I hate both teams, but because I pretty much knew it was a mismatch. But I respect both sides, and I see talent on both teams too. But it was great to actually say, man, I'm looking forward to this matchup for this reason. And you had a hardcore reason, like seeing the Warriors. It's not even the same old thing with them. It's like you seeing an emerging superstar in Jordan Poole for the Warriors, and the Bucks Bulls. It's cool to actually see Giannis actually say, well, you know something? Even though Chris Middleton is a bad boy and we're going to miss him, the rest of the crew's pretty bad, and I'll show you. And DeMar DeRozan isn't a slouch himself, although he's having a tough go with it with the Bucks. I'm excited seeing all of this, and I don't have to deal with LeBron James.
We have not brought up New Orleans.
And then there are the Pelicans.
And we have not brought up how
the emergence of Brandon Ingram.
And we've discussed, and did we prior to the playoffs even starting.
Yep.
What did we say?
We said that even though CJ McCollum is a bad man, he's a stud. The success of the Pelicans is hinged on if Brandon Ingram could pick up that man along with him.
And my boy has. And my boy has.
Look what he's done.
and it's like it feels good that we both agreed on this. It wasn't like it was just one of us.
Right.
We both said, "Yo, this kid is a stud."
He is.
And if he shows up, they got a problem.
Yeah, the Suns have a problem. We might actually lead when we get back from here after I end this segment of prisoner of the moment, because Bronsexuals, many of you seem to want to just denigrate Durant. Look, I'll put it this way with Durant. Is this the best playoff season he's had? No. It's probably the worst. Does it mean he sucks? No. Does it mean he's bad for the league? No. Does it mean that we have to try to slander his name like you all say that we do LeBron? No. The guy's still a stud. The guy's still a champion. You can't take that away from him. And you can say, well, he got those rings because of Clay and Steph and Draymond, but he didn't get it by himself. So what? He still got 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs to show for it. You can't take that away from him. And if the Nets are swept, it does not mean that his legacy is stained, because guess what? Kobe had to deal with a sweep. In fact, he dealt with 2 of them in his career. You don't think he's any less? Magic, he dealt with 2 sweeps in the finals. His career isn't toast. Jordan, he took 2, not 1, 2 first-round sweeps. His career hasn't tanked. Larry Bird took a sweep in 1983. His career doesn't suck. All of that. And this vitriol of, well, his career is going to be Durant's career is going to be tainted if the Nets get swept by the Celtics. No, it's not.
You ran into a buzzsaw that is Boston.
And that's exactly what they did.
You ran into a buzzsaw that you are talking about the hottest team since the All-Star break.
Period. And
there was no hotter team.
Not only a no hotter team than them. You're dealing with the best, not one of the best defense in the entire NBA. And you're dealing with a coach in Udoka who has a little bit of knowledge
on Brooklyn. Yes.
He has a little bit of knowledge on Brooklyn.
Was an assistant coach on Brooklyn last year.
Right.
So he knows their weaknesses. He knows how to play them. He knows, listen, we hit him. We continue to hit him and make it difficult for him. He's not going to be Kevin Durant. We are going to make this difficult for him.
And I know you're not a Celtics fan. I'm not either.
Oh, this again, we all know I bleed Nick blue. But again, now I'm in the role of an analyst. I have to speak my opinion and I have to give props where the props are due. I'm not gonna be here because I'm a Knicks fan and not state the facts. This Boston team has been the hottest team since the All-Star break. One of the best defensive team in the league. Seriously, defense wins championships.
And you know what's scary? That defense in that series has gotten better by the game. And I'm thinking, oh man, they're getting the groove. They're as a team, they're defensively getting the groove. And they did it without Robert Williams on the court.
That makes it even worse. Like now you get Robert Williams back, and what happens? That defense their defense just improved quadruple times. Because now you got that body in the middle that you ain't gonna be driving in.
Nope. And if you thought the Celtics were physical before Williams' presence in the paint,
how much physical are they gonna be now?
And that's why I love what the Celtics are doing. I'm glad they're not shying away from bodying up and being physical on the best player and making him work for the ball, making him work and trying to deny the pass to him, and then making him work to get into the comfortable spots for him to shoot. Love it. Love it.
But you're seeing, right? Last year's champs, Milwaukee, they have an influx of homegrown talent.
Yep.
And pieces that they picked up. Right?
Yes, sir.
you're looking at Boston now. Mostly homegrown talent.
That's right.
The majority of it is homegrown talent there.
That's right.
With getting back Al Horford, adding
Right.
that veteran leadership, and the other pieces that they have on there.
Yep.
So they're showing you the model that you don't need to go and get from free agency the big three. If you draft properly, you can build your own big three.
Yeah.
You can build your own, and Golden State is another prime example of that.
They did the same
homegrown
thing.
talent.
They did the same thing.
Yes, they added Durant, whatever. But prior to Durant being there, they were champions.
Thank you.
With homegrown talent. Steph, Clay, Draymond. All these the three core pieces were drafted by them.
And now they have a fourth they drafted that's probably going to be in the fold. It's time you have to look at these front offices and say, wow, they know how to evaluate talent, and they know how to get the right talent for their team. And the Celtics, they definitely are that, because they got two studs already leading them. And neither one of them, I don't think, are 25 yet. I know Tatum isn't.
No, they're both probably like 23, 24.
Right.
That just like Danny Ainge left Brad Stevens in a beautiful position. Beautiful position.
A GM could not have had a better opportunity to walk into.
I could understand why he left the coach's bench to go to the GM position, because look at what you got. Like it's you have riches beyond riches. And then some of the moves that they've made, not sacrificing picks and all that, they still draft well.
Yeah.
They know what they need.
Yeah. And I'm glad you actually said that sentence right there. The Celtics drafted and built the team on what they need. But what you Bronsexuals are overlooking, because you have this zeal to want to down a player for not executing the way he has, is that he plays on a team that doesn't. And you're punishing him because of that. But you know something? He's in the playoffs. What about your king? He ain't. So y'all got to stop being prisoners of the moment. Lord. All right. A quick reset. We'll be right back. And we're going to delve into all 8 of these first round matchups on the other side.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
When you want to talk, I'm here.
You're so right for me, and I'm right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Well, Dr. K, you operate this Twitter thing by going to SIT Morn. That's where you'll find us on Instagram and on Twitter. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson pushes forward. I am Cole Johnson, one half of that team. The other half that you see is not Brian Snow. He is convalescing 3 weeks removed from cancer surgery, and he's doing wonderful, I may add. But the gentleman that has joined me this morning joins me every Monday morning, and sometimes other mornings in between. That is Mr. Wise El Jefe. And yeah, wonderful addition to the team. Really, really, really love the fact he's here. All right, I will touch on the Nets and the Celtics a little later, but when you mentioned the Pelicans, you got me amped. So the Suns and the Pelicans are tied at 2. One of the 2 series that are tied, that's squared at 2. And it was done by a well played, especially in the second half, performance by the Pelicans, leading to their 118-103 victory over the Suns. Okay, a show of hands. Who thought that the Pelicans would be 2-2 with the Suns? Anybody? That's what I thought. I didn't either. But I didn't think that they were. I thought they was going to come with fight, but I did not think they were going to give the Suns this much trouble. And this is with or without Devin Booker.
No, see that's my argument right there. That's my argument right there. It's like, this just shows you why Devin Booker should have been in one of the top 3 for MVP.
Oh, he is to me. This
just goes to show you, like, had he not got hurt in that third quarter,
the Suns probably would have won that game. Yeah, I agree.
How many points would he have finished with?
Because he had 31 going to the half. He was locked in that game.
It looked like he was going for a 70-point night that day.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I had a 70-point regular season game. I think I might have a 70-point playoff game. Yeah.
And so to me, listen, Phoenix has a great team. Yes,
they do.
But when you're tapped by one of the greatest, and Kobe being Bryant, to say that
you're next,
and we're talking about a man who knows basketball.
He knows it. He knows it very well.
He knew basketball. This man knew basketball, and he knew potential. And when he said this about Devin Booker,
yeah, I sat up and took notice when he said that. I was like, oh, I gotta pay attention to this dude. Okay. And Kobe, of course, he wasn't wrong. Devin Booker is that dude, and I agree with you, Wise. He, to me, is one of the 3 best players this year and should be one of the 3 leading candidates for MVP without question. I have no issue with saying that. And he does not get his just due because of the fact people think that team not only is led by Chris Paul, but that team is powered by him. And I think we're starting to see, to your point, I think we're starting to see that it may be powered by Paul at certain stretches, but there's other times where he needs to have that help with someone like a scorer that Booker provides, that when Paul doesn't have it on the offensive end, it doesn't look so glaring. For example, last night, even though he dropped 11 dimes, and he got 2 steals, he only had 3 boards. He to me, Paul's a little more active on the boards when all of his game's cooking, but only 4 points on 2 of 8 from the field.
That's
now,
not gonna cut it.
No. Now, this is a guy who he can, at will, when he wants to actually do so, dribble anywhere from, I'd say anywhere from like 12 to 18 feet on either side of the elbow, and he has a wonderful sweet stroke, and he can just simply fill it up from anywhere in that distance. And sometimes if he's hot for 3, he can hit 2. Last night was not one of them, but he can provide offense for you where it's like, okay, he can probably give you 14, 15 on a decent night. But this was a bad night, and he had a bad night. The team also had a bad night too, even though Ayton, to me, had the best performance of offensive performance of the series thus far with 23. Now you had Johnson who with 13, you had Crowder with 11. He woke up, thankfully. You had JaVale McGee, who scored more points than Chris Paul with 14. But they need to have that presence in Booker. You saw it. You saw the glaring weakness. You saw the glaring hole in game 2, the end of game 2. You see the glaring hole in game 4. Now for the Pelicans, I could talk about McCollum, who struggled from the night, 18 points. I could talk about Valanciunas, who did not struggle. He did very well with 26. And I could talk about Jones with 13. But the man of the hour in this series to me is Brandon Ingram, former Laker. I'm sorry. 30 points, 5 assists. And what I love about him is it's not the 30 points to me that stands out. It's the fact that he's willing to give up the ball too. So it means it tells me this guy's overall game is expanding. It's growing, and he's blossoming, he's maturing into an NBA player who can be a superstar. And I love seeing it because the Pelicans can build around that. They can build around that. And if he can power this team with that type of performance 2 more times, we actually might see a 1-8 upset. Am I saying that's going to happen? No. But I'm saying if Ingram can put forth performances like this 2 more times at least, the Pelicans will be advanced to the second round.
Oh, it can happen. Yeah. It can happen. It's not a pipe dream. Yeah. Let's get that straight. It can happen. Without no Devin Booker, it can most definitely happen.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question is Chris Paul going to step up? Like, what is this? This is the key.
That's my
question.
Is
Chris Paul going to step up? What? Because he has to. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to win with him shooting the way he shot.
No,
and scoring the points he scored. He has to give you at least 18, 20 points.
Yeah. I would say that the key number is at least 18. He has to give you that, which that normally is his average. He has to give you that. If he doesn't give you 18,
you're not going anywhere.
The Suns are sunk, because it means they would have to have Ayton to carry the scoring load, and
he's not built for that right now.
DeAndre, I love you, bro, but like Wyatt said, you're not. You're not built for that yet. You might be, but
Yeah.
you're not yet.
Listen, he's still becoming a professional. He's still a young boy. He has untapped potential. This
He
kid
does.
can be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But again, same way Tatum and Brown grew into their roles and developed into superstars, he has to do the same work because those are two gym rats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could tell
those boys are gym rats.
You could tell Brown and Tatum are. Yeah,
you could tell that they're gym rats, and they love to be on the court. And so, if he can adapt that, and like I said, he's still growing. But if he's doing what they're doing with Booker and him, the Suns are set for the next 10, 12 years.
Oh yeah, because they'll have their twosome. They'll have Aiden on the inside and Booker on the outside. Yeah, no question, man, no question. But the Suns have to survive this series. Thankfully, their next game will be at home, so tip-off will be at 10 Eastern tomorrow night in Phoenix. And yeah, my focus is toward Chris Paul. If he offensively cannot bring them home, the Suns will be in trouble, and they actually might go back to New Orleans down 3-2. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm saying that it's
a possibility.
It's a possibility, and if I see that out of Paul, the Suns are done. And I don't want to say that, but it's so funny that people were saying, well, the Suns are locked to be in the finals, and now a week later we're saying, well, are they? They actually might be bounced, and they could be bounced.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah. Now, switching to I'll go to the Heat and the Hawks. It looks so promising on Friday when Trae put that teardropper in to give them that 111-110 victory over the Hawks to have them go down just 2-1.
And then reality set.
But that second quarter they played last night, and in the third quarter they played back to supplement that. Like you said, sir, reality set in. 110-86. I said this before the series began. The Heat, it didn't matter if it was the Hawks or the Cavaliers, the Heat would be the better team of the two, and they have proven it with this 24-point thumping. Let me put it correctly. This 24-point thumping that they issued the Hawks. It was as if it's like, okay, we'll see what you're going to do in the first quarter, and then we're going to show you who we really are starting the second.
Yeah.
All the starters were in double figures for the Heat, led by Butler with 36. And when that guy actually decides to play offense, defense is not even an issue. 4 steals again. But when he decides to actually be the guy to say, okay, you know what, offensively, I got you guys. This team is hard to stop. 36 points on 12-21 shooting and 10 rebounds to boot, along with 4 steals and 4 dimes. This guy, man, when he's invested on offense, he's awesome. You had 14 from Adebayo, you had 11 from Vincent, 12 from Strus, and you had 14 from P.J. Tucker. That's another reason why I say if the Heat are going to advance, and you have Tucker being in double figures, you're in trouble, especially if you leave him in the corner 3. That's his shot. You leave him wide open corner 3, and everybody knows it. You leave him open, he'll hit that. He'll hit 1 or 2 of those.
You thinking Milwaukee missing him right now?
Oh, you know they're missing him right now. You know they're missing him right now. You know they're like, dog, we should have kept him. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's exactly the presence they need now, especially that Chris Middleton's gone. That's the presence they need. But he is lighting it up for the Heat now. Oh, and make no mistake, the dude is lethal on the defensive boards too. So yeah, that presence is missing for them. For the Hawks, 24 from Hunter, 11 from Collins, 12 from Knox, 9 for Young. Trae Young. I want to believe this guy is a stud, and he's box office, and he gives me those vibes because he wants to be big in big moments. But he's having too many of these games because he had an 8-point performance in Miami. It's as if the 3-point shot isn't falling, it's like the rest of the game goes for him.
And that's the problem. He like, dude, you could break these defenders down
easily.
Break them down. Take them to the hole. Draw a foul. If your 3-point shot isn't dropping, do what you do best and take it to the hole. Because you're a little magician when you go down into the hole and you make things happen. If you want to concentrate on just jump shot on 3 points, you're not Steph Curry.
No,
let's get
nobody
that straight.
is. Nobody is.
So yeah, I guess you hitting these threes like has hit your head, and that's the thing. A lot of these players start falling in love with the 3-point shot, and you're not a 3-point shooter.
No.
So that's one of the issues I have with the game. Like, oh, now it's just heavily you've taken away so many core basic things that help you win because you think everybody wants to see the 3.
Right.
No, like break it down, take it to the hole.
Yeah, we want to see your best game, period. Yeah. And I don't know why you have me thinking about the Gene Carnes song. Don't let it go to your head, no.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's what it is, man. Everybody wants to be a 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
No, because all the shots don't always fall for Curry, but if he could average 45, almost 45% for a career from 3, cool. Most other people cannot.
He is the greatest 3-point shooter of
ever,
all time. All time.
There's not even a question.
But you're not him.
No.
You're Trae Young. Trae Young takes it to the hole. Trae Young, do what you was doing in Oklahoma. You wasn't just shooting threes in Oklahoma.
And what makes this mind-boggling to me is that your game winner from the game before was a penetration to the hole with that beautiful explosive first step where the defender can't do jack but chase you, and then you put a teardropper.
That's what you need to do.
And it opens up everything else because Clint Capella, I've never seen a play devised up for him, that opens that up too, because and it's not that he hasn't seen it or done it before. He's done it with Capella last year. I'll say, all right, so the threes aren't falling. Penetrate. He had a couple of those layups, and then you penetrate and dish to somebody that either cut into the hole or someone who's positioned, because you know the defense is going to collapse on you. This is easy basketball that we don't even have to tell you.
It's basketball 101.
Yeah, we don't have to tell you this. You know this. And yeah, it disappoints me that this guy, who I really believe, if he were to play to his strengths, would be one of the beasts in the league now. I really believe that.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, game 5 is tomorrow night. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. The Hawks have to win to stay alive, but the game is in Miami. Ugh. All right. Speaking of the former team of PJ Tucker's, I think, will miss him later on in the playoffs, but they certainly didn't miss him this weekend in Chicago.
Oh, no, they did not. They did not.
So how did they top the butt whooping that they gave the Bulls on Friday night with a 119-95 butt whooping on Sunday afternoon? Paced by Giannis Antetokounmpo's 32 points and 17 boards and 7 assists. The Bucks just simply their runaway train. They're up 3-1 on the Bulls. And along with that 32, 17, and 7, Portis with 14 and 10 boards. Holiday, who I think he's going to have to be very huge for the Bucks as we go forward
Middleton,
in the future.
yes, without Middleton.
Yeah, without Middleton. He put up 26, so I was glad to see that. And then Allen with 27. So the bench really didn't have to show up. They showed up and showed out. So I just am impressed with the Bucks because they just simply, whenever an obstacle is presented in front of them, they just seem to sidestep it. They seem to sidestep. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. So we don't, we might not have Giannis for a bit. It would suck if we don't. We'll manage. Okay, so we might not have Holiday for a second. Okay, we manage. Right now, we don't have Middleton for the moment. We'll manage. Oh, we didn't have Lopez for a while. We manage. And man, because of that, they have gotten in their stride and they've gotten their bag. In fact, to me, they played their 2 best games of the season in back-to-back playoff games. Scary when you think about it. For the Bulls, Williams with 20, Levine with 24. He's quietly had a decent playoffs. The shooting wasn't all that great, but the effort is there, along with that 13 dimes. So, it's like he wants to be that number 2 for DeRozan, and I really believe that he can be. And he actually led the all Bull scorers with 24 because DeRozan just didn't have it. 8 of 20 from the field, 23 points. And of course, the Bulls will go as far as he goes. It's no question about it. They go as far as DeRozan goes. But I can't really say that I am shocked nor surprised that the Bulls have performed this way because I figured the injuries were going to get a hold of them. And unfortunately, they have. It's taken its toll, unfortunately.
And this is something we discussed again prior to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We said they were going to miss Lonzo.
And they miss him bad.
This is all. If you go back on video, this is what we said. These are facts that we stated.
Yeah,
that without Lonzo, they weren't the same team that were running full stride at the beginning of the season when they were doing what they were doing, when they were a number 1 seed, and you lose a key component of your team.
Yeah,
and so they have other injuries all up and down the roster. So, and in the playoffs it seems like Milwaukee, besides losing Middleton, is getting healthy. They got Lopez back. They're getting key pieces that they didn't have during the regular season. Yes, Middleton was a big blow.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you went, like you said, months without Brook Lopez, and this is a stretch center.
Yes.
And you had injury, like you said, injuries all up now, but now I think they're just much more healthier right now.
Yeah. Other than Middleton,
and much more deeper.
Yeah.
Much more deep. Again, what is one of the key elements all these teams that are successful have? They have that pest. And we all know Grayson Allen is that pest.
Yeah, he is.
But he's a baller.
Like him or not.
He is a baller.
Yeah.
He comes to play.
Yeah.
And hate him or love him.
Yeah, you have to admit that.
You got this kid, again. Duke produces a lot of pests.
Yeah, they have.
But listen, again, it just goes to show you, man, draft correctly. Because like when we said Milwaukee, a lot of their talent, Giannis, Middleton, Allen, these are talents they drafted. Yes, they got Holiday from Pelicans. Great pickup. That was a great pickup for them.
Yeah.
Again, you draft your core and you add the pieces around them. And that's what that's again the team. A lot of the teams that you see now that are successful: Memphis, Phoenix, Milwaukee, even Miami, because Tyler Hero's one of their picks.
Yeah, 6 million.
Duncan Robinson. Where the hell did they get Duncan Robinson from? He wasn't the top. They have the executives in Miami. Pat Riley is the greatest, like one of the greatest executives next to Jerry West.
Agreed.
And it's like they just keep like even after the Miami Big Three and the 10 champions they were going to win, whatever, and then it flamed out. They would struggle for a while, but they built it back up through the draft and through key free agent signings. Not try to build a 2013 super team in 2022 or 2021 when they try to build that. You know who we talking about, but
right.
But if you look at all these key teams, these young teams now, a lot of them drafted their core and added key free agent pieces.
Yeah. And the Bucks definitely are no different. And then it was actually buoyed by the fact that Giannis said, you know what? In my time of free agency, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. And because of that, the Bucks are much better for it. Just look at them now. Champs, and they're defending that crown as we speak.
Yeah.
All right, you are inside hour number 2 of Snowman in the Morning. Be right back in a moment.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Kelly's one-strike pitch. Swinging a fly ball, center field deep. Bellinger going back to the warning track, to the wall. It's a grand slam! Howie Kendrick has done it! They're going crazy in the Nationals dugout! Howie Kendrick with a grand slam here in the 10th inning of Game 5. The Nationals 7, the Dodgers 3. Do you believe it?
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
It's a normal homer that Howie Kendrick hit in that playoff run that hurts worse to me, but that was a remarkable moment. Inside Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, hour number 2 on a Monday edition. One half of that team that you're hearing me right now and seeing me, Cole Johnson, is here. The other half, Brian Snow, convalescing right now, 3 weeks removed from surgery. His prayers, he loves them. He loves the love that you have given him. He feels the love that you've given him. And he says, thank you for the support. It is much appreciated. But joining me today, as he does every Monday, is Wise, and that's with a Z, not an S, El Jefe.
Yes.
All right. So we are in the middle of breaking down all 8 of these matchups in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And we will go out west and we'll talk about the Nuggets and Warriors, where I want to say I think the Warriors had a golden opportunity to actually get the Nuggets up out the paint, but I think they took them a little too lightly yesterday. I'll explain further. 126-121, the Nuggets stay alive, bringing the series to 3-1. The Warriors still are up 3-1. For the losing Warriors, you had Draymond Green with 13. You had Wiggins with 20. You had Poole, and I think that's the key in this game, unfortunately, with only 11, 1 of 5 from 3, because Curry had 33 and Thompson had 32. So you get the Splash Brothers scoring 65 points. Normally, that's a W, especially when they hit a combined 10 of 22 from 3. Normally, that's a W when you get that type of production from them, but it did not happen and did not materialize yesterday. For the victorious Nuggets, You had Aaron Gordon, who stepped up with 21. You had Morris, who stepped up with 24. You had Cousins. I love to see that. He stepped up off the bench with 10. You had Highland, who stepped up with 15. And finally, I've gotten what I called for, because I said the Nuggets for far too long was Nikola Jokic and ... And for 3 games, it was Nikola Jokic and ... With the 37 points he scored in this game, along with 8 boards and 6 dimes, this was good enough from Jokic, because he was able to lift his team to yet another game. Your thoughts on the Nuggets Warriors series and the game from Sunday, if you have any?
We spoke on this. We said before, like, Joker can't do it all. Joker, he needs someone else to step up. So he had Aaron Gordon, who we've spoke on and said they need him. He has to be key, because you don't have Murray and you don't have Michael Porter Jr. You needed someone else to step up. He has to be that guy. All the other guys who stepped up, it's again, I don't think it's gonna go past 6. They might pull another one out. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I agree.
I don't think the Warriors need to worry about it. It's, you know, sometimes you just can't. It's not your night. It really is. This is why they play the game, and it just happened not to be their night. Even though the Splash Brothers did their thing, and Draymond is always going to be Draymond, but I expected them to win at least one game. I didn't think it was going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a sweep either. Because to me, my thought was, it's not that Jokic is disappearing. I mean, he's showing up, and normally, especially, because I figured when they would go home, he was going to get one of these types of performances from the rest of his team. I was hoping it wasn't going to be game 4 for them, but it just happened to be that, because, well, they played like a desperate team, and normally a team down 3-0 will play desperate, and they'll try things that they hadn't tried before, and they would feel more emboldened, especially at home, to do things that they probably hadn't done before. And that's what happened, and that's what transpired. What I didn't like from the Nuggets was, like you said, it was, you know, Jokic was doing so much, and you could see that he was trying to do more than he could.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why he got ejected, to me, in game 2 was, I think he felt the pressure of doing so much that it's like, look, I'm scoring, I'm trying to do my best on D, but I'm gassed. I'm dropping dimes, I'm trying to crash these boards. You know, there's nobody that's helped me crash the boards. There's nobody that's helped me dropping these dimes. There's nobody that's helping me score. So what else is there? And that's just too much for one elite player to do. I don't care who you are. That's just too much. For the Warriors, another one of these bad takes. And this actually also came from a Bronsexual. This Bronsexual said about Jordan Poole and the Warriors, quote, "Now, with this 11-point performance, this is proof as to why I say that the Warriors go as far as Jordan Poole goes." Close quote. I'm sorry, man. I just had to do this.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I said I wasn't going to speak on Bronsexuals anymore.
I'm like, really?
Oh man! Again, it like Jordan Poole just now emerged. It wasn't like
right.
Oh my god! And it's like Klay Thompson. Like you're trying to say what Klay Thompson had nothing to do with,
right?
Helping them improving the team with his addition, because he hadn't played all year until he came back,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big piece.
Oh, that was a big piece missing.
Yeah. So listen, you knew Denver was going to at least pull one out, and at least one game they were going to have someone other than Joker come and perform. And in this case, they had quite a few players off the bench and other people step up. So
yeah,
we didn't think it was going to be a sweep.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
So this Bronsexual
Mm-hmm.
who is watching the playoffs at home with LeBron.
Yes.
Because LeBron is watching it at home.
That's right.
Why don't y'all have that energy about your team, man? Like, again, your team is home because y'all want to have a AARP roster. Why you keep talking? Like, I don't understand you guys. Why y'all keep talking?
Oh man, I
Why?
love that. I love that AARP reference. Oh my. Oh, good
I don't understand this.
BS3 Network says Joker was and is frustrated. Yeah, I think he still is frustrated too, because I think he's feeling the pinch from not having Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray all season long, for almost all season long, both of them. Only 9 games did he have Michael Porter Jr. Yeah, I think he's feeling that frustration too, and I think it's starting to build up even more and more. Huh? And then not from what I just explained, but basically what the Bronsexuals said about Jordan Poole being basically the straw which stirs the Warriors drink. I just find these takes hilarious sometimes.
But you know what? I enjoy the lives as much as I'd be like, I enjoy the lives. You guys really make my day.
Yes,
with this craziness. Yeah, because I really do enjoy the lives. Like, seriously, y'all home watching the playoffs. Like,
it's
just enjoy them.
It's a beautiful.
Well, yeah, you know what it is? I've come to this conclusion.
Okay.
Bronsexuals love to hear themselves speak.
Yes.
That's what it is. They love to hear themselves speak. They feel left out because no one is talking about them right now because they're not in the playoffs. So we shouldn't be talking about you guys.
No.
So yeah. Can you have the play to have a Coke and smile for me, please?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do that, please.
I definitely will. I love that. Yeah, and I'm with you. I'm with my man here because Bronsexuals, this is what you need to have happen.
Have a Coke and a smile and shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, all of you just need to just stop it. Just stop it, please.
Oh my. Well, the Warriors are looking to close out the Nuggets. Let me see. Wednesday night. Tip-off is at 10 p.m. So they have a couple days rest before they go at it again. And I think I want to see the Nuggets push this to 6, but I think this is going to be a gentleman's sweep.
I don't see it again. Now, if the same thing happens and these players decide they want to show up again for another game, then yes, I can see it extending.
Yeah.
But if we just keep getting the same thing from the previous 3 games, just call it a wrap, and and Joker's to start preparing next year to have Murray and Pete and Michael Porter Jr. with him. So
just hang the Gone Fishing sign and just head on the vacation. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the 76ers and Raptors.
We really got to talk about this game, like, seriously.
All right, what I find interesting about this series. Okay, fine. I'll go through the stats quick. So the Raptors beat the Sixers Saturday 110-102 after Embiid the night 2 days before hit a 3 after the 76ers didn't lead for most of that game.
And
hit a 3 with 7 tenths of seconds left in overtime to to bring the series to 3-0 before the Raptors decided to win this game. For the losing Sixers in that game on Saturday, you had Harris with 15. You had Maxey with 11, which I think that's the biggest key of the L. You had Harden that led all scores with led all Sixers scores at 22 with 9 dimes, and you had Embiid with the messed up thumb, scoring 21 and complaining about the refs, but not complaining about the refs. For the Raptors, you had Siakam, who actually decided to wake up, and he put forth 34 points and 8 boards. Anunoby chipped in with 11. Trent Jr. Chipped in with 24. Hit a couple threes that were key. Young with 13, and unfortunately Van Fleet scored 5 early before he had to leave with an injury. Now, the Game 5 will be tipping off tonight at 8 p.m. Hopefully, the Sixers can put the Raptors out of their misery. But what I find funny about this series is that you had Embiid chipping at the Raptors head coach Nick Nurse about stop complaining about ref calls and fouls and all of that. And then we go 2 games later, and he's sarcastically applauding the refs because he felt as though the refs helped the Raptors win the game. That is the most exciting part about this series. That.
All right. So yeah, I don't like this. Oh man, like first of all, Harden led you with 22 points.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem right there.
Yeah, that right there. It's one of the key factors that we said that why Philly would win this series.
Talk to me.
Only had 11 points.
Talk to me. That's right. That's right.
So y'all can keep thinking that Harden is your savior.
Mm-mm.
But if he continues to lead y'all in scoring,
yeah, you're gonna take more L's than W's. It's not even a question.
Yeah. And if that boy Maxey has another 11-point game and we don't get the Maxey from the previous 3 games,
yeah, it's a wrap. Especially the next series.
Y'all might barely survive this one, but the next series, y'all not. It doesn't look promising for you guys. Does not look promising.
Mm-mm. Because
now I'm gonna whack him in the hand every single chance I get. Seriously,
that's what I'm thinking the Heat are going to do.
Seriously,
because he's not going to have surgery till the off season. That's exactly what I think the Heat are going to do.
You telling me Jimmy Butler not going to smack that hand? Jimmy Butler already don't like y'all.
Yeah, it's almost going. It almost is going to be like an over and under how many times he'll smack that hand.
Yeah, it's gonna. Even when he's on defense, they're gonna be banging his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be all right. So, y'all need to get your stuff together because Harden leading y'all in scoring is not gonna do it. It's not gonna cut it for y'all.
No,
every single team he's led in scoring gets bounced.
Yeah.
What does that tell y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him lead y'all in scoring.
Yeah.
He hasn't led y'all any of these other games, and y'all won.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment he leads y'all in scoring, no victory.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's no question. You got to have Embiid or Maxey lead the Sixers in scoring. It's not even a question because that's where the offensive bread has to be buttered.
Yes.
It's not even a question. That's where the offensive bread has to be buttered. So I will be kind and will jump off of that series. I just had to touch on it because I just found it ridiculous that you had people complaining about that, and you touched on the other point I wanted to touch on, the fact that they decided to go away from Maxey, which I thought that was a huge mistake, and that was a huge reason why they took the L on Saturday. Let's go to another 2-2. series in the first round, and that would be the Mavericks and the Jazz. The Mavericks decided not to show up in the first half of Game 3, and then they fought from underneath and could not pull that game out. But they decided to show up on Saturday, and they got out to a good lead in half, but they squandered it huge in the third quarter before feverishly coming back and with a Donovan Mitchell assist to Rudy Gobert with, I think, about 11 seconds to go in the game. They put the Jazz up 199, and that is what stayed after a Dinwiddie 3 clanked off the side of the rim. Now, I think I have an idea as to where you're going to go with the talk that we're about to do with this series. So for the losing Mavericks, you had Finney-Smith, who he's actually been pretty consistent in his contributions. 11 points, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that for him. I think if he could stay in that range, I think the Mavericks can do a lot of damage. Bullock also 11. Powell also at 11. You had Doncic, who, of course, came back, and he played his first game in the playoffs this year. 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 dimes. Jalen Brunson with 23. I'll drop that. I'll leave that there. For the Heat in the game 4, you had Mitchell, who led the way for the Jazz with 23. He dropped 7 dimes and had 6 boards. You had Bogdanovic, who had 12. You had Clarkson, he led the way for the Jazz, with 25. Former Laker. I'm sorry. And Rudy Gobert with 17 points and 15 boards.
Yeah.
The key, 10 of them offensive boards, which that's where the Jazz bread is buttered. If they can get those second chance points and keep the game the way it was, that way this game was, that's where they can make their hay. All right. This is the view that I have, just macro. In terms of talent, the Mavericks have more talent. There's just no question about it. They have more talent than the Jazz. At times, the fight seems to be more in the Mavericks' direction too. I don't know if the Jazz have as much heart. I'm gonna say they don't have any. I don't know if they have as much heart as the Mavericks do, because seemingly the Mavericks seem to carry more heart that I've seen in the last 4 games that they played one another. The problem I'm seeing, and you touched on this, and I winced when I heard that he was actually going to be starting this game. Luka. I love Luka. He's talented, and he showed his talent in Saturday's game. 30 points and 10 boards. The dude knows how to play. There's not even a question about that.
Yes.
But when you have somebody who's cooking already, in Jalen Brunson, he scored 41 in game 2. He backdoored that by scoring 31 in game 3. You gotta give him more elbow grease to cook some more. And why put Doncic on the court? You don't need to put him on the court now. You can put him on the court for game 5. You didn't have to have him out there for game 4. The momentum was with you. You already won 2 in a row in this series. And I think the team found their jelly. I think they were good. And it felt as though Doncic sort of forced his way onto the team and into the mix. And it seemed to gum up the works. And am I reading too much into this, sir?
You might be reading a little bit too much into it.
Okay.
Because you're telling me, all right, yes, Brunson's been cooking. And I've been his biggest supporter.
Right.
But you cannot tell me you don't want Luka on the court. Hey, he's the one he's major reason why you're here in this position. I get it. Maybe you don't rush him, give him a couple of minutes, get his feet wet and whatever. But you can't say like they made a mistake, because it's Luka. And if it wasn't for alley-oop, they would have won the game. So you just got to get. Listen, did the game change with Luka out because you had other people having to step up? Maybe those people didn't step up this game, like, oh, Luka's back. And maybe yes. I get your point on that part.
Yeah.
That there's certain players that like, Luka's back, let me step back now.
Mm-hmm.
No. Luka's back, let me put the gas in as well. So now you got two people bringing in their gas. So now, maybe Brunson might have been like, all right, Luka's back. I don't have to do what I've been doing the last 2 games. Now, if he was to, can you play both of them at the same time? Like, can you play Luka and Brunson at the same time? Or do they both have to have do they both have to have the rock in their hand?
All right, to your point. So Luka did hit a big 3 to put him up 99-95. So yes, I understand that. And then I think that was with like 45 seconds to go to the game. So it wasn't like Doncic just stuck up the joint. No, I'm not saying that. But I think you said what I was feeling. It was, he's injured, or I should say he was injured, and they held him back for the first 3 games. You might as well hold him back again, and then have him be on the court when they get back home. And if it was 2-2, you would have a bigger boost having him there. And if it was 3-1, the boost would be even larger because he would be able to be there to close out the series. And yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, look, Luka, to me, top 5 talent in the league today. It's not even a question to me.
Yeah.
And yes, if you have a talent like that, it's very difficult to keep him off the court. I do agree with you there. I just saw that with Brunson cooking the way he was cooking, and he's a point too.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know if you want to put Luka back on the road. Have him come back at home, maybe, but yeah. But Luka's a player and he's a baller, and I appreciate that about him.
But I understand you're part of it as well. Like Brunson was cooking,
yeah,
and I feel he might have hesitated with Luka being there now because all right, this is Luka's team now. Let me just like not outshine him,
right,
or whatever it is. For me, yeah, it's key. He needed to keep his foot on the gas.
Yeah,
regardless, and like you say, he dropped 23, and they won on the alley. They didn't play a bad game. They just it was just one of those shots, one of those dunks that just happened. Like. But I think for game 5, now with Luka being back now, and him realizing that he doesn't have to carry the load, that he has someone else that he can probably rely on more.
Right.
Game 5 would probably be different.
I agree.
And then being at home, it really. So I get your point of maybe they should have kept him back because even if you lose, you go back 2-2. He gives you that spark at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel you on what you're saying too. That's that talent. It's hard if he's able to go. That's hard to keep that talent put on the bench. Very difficult. So I totally understand that. Well, game 5 will be back in Dallas tonight. Tip-off is at 9:30, and I actually have to say, I've actually, I thought I was not going to like this series. I actually do now. I actually like the series. I do. But the series that I like the most, Grizzlies, Timberwolves. I will make no bones about it. This is the series that I have liked the most since jump. And with the 119-118 victory Saturday night, the Timberwolves eking out that victory against the Grizzlies. doggone, they don't disappoint. And I mean both teams don't. Now there may be certain players that might at times, but the teams, they don't disappoint me at all. For the Grizzlies on Saturday, you had Brooks Brooks put down 24. You had Moran, who struggled, 4-13 from the field and 11 points. And to me, I think that contributed to the L more than anything. Bane led the way with 34, and Bane has been cooking in this series.
Yes.
He has been absolutely on fire in this series, especially from three. The dude hit 8 more from three on Saturday. Gosh, this dude's just...
And they're not a 3-point shooting team.
They're not. That's what I find scary. It's like they're doing stuff that I don't remember seeing them do, and they seem to do it flawlessly. I'm like,
yeah, they're not known to be a shoot three team. They're more of a up and down, and defensive squad.
Yeah.
But now you add that element to their game, and
they are dangerous. And the thing is, they're getting more and more dangerous by the week. That is what I find interesting about the Grizzlies. Clark also dropped 15. Jones dropped 13. Good game. I mean, it was a good game in terms of if you like up and down action. Saturday's game was that way. It was. For the Timberwolves, all five starters were in double digits. Vanderbilt with 12. He needs to keep up with that total. Yeah. I'd say 10, 11, 12, 13. He needs to score that much for the Timberwolves to win, and just to win any game and to have any chance in any series. You had Beverly with 17, which of course that's a huge plus.
Big, yeah.
Because you don't expect the Pest to score that many. Russell was off. He only scored 10. McLaughlin helped out on the bench with 16. But the two stars and studs did what they were supposed to do. With Edwards at 24 points and Towns with 33 points, 14 boards to match. If they can play like this, I really can't with the Grizzlies. I can't really say that they'll beat the Grizzlies if they play like this. But if they play like this, their chances of winning that series is greater. But the Grizzlies are a team. They play like one. Morant has not even played his best game yet in this series. And the Grizzlies had put forth just listen to the point totals that they put up with Morant not really cooking, except for game one where I think he put up 32 in a losing effort. But they scored 117 in game one, 124 in game two, 104 in game three, and 118 in game four. And this is with Durant having 3 bad games. Man, I'll say it now. This series is going 7.
That's what it's looking like. It's what it's looking like. And again, you touched on it. The Minnesota studs showed up.
Yes. Now, if they show up, I like their chances.
Oh no! Listen. If you want to rate the top 4 players in this series, like overall, even like, you would say Minnesota has 3 of the top 4 players in the series.
100.
You would say Morant, Cat, Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell. Those are the 4 big names in this series.
Yeah. And
3 of them play on Minnesota.
Right.
So you would have been like, okay, so Minnesota really has a shot. And they do.
Mm-hmm.
If they continue to play like they're playing and Ja keeps playing the way he's playing, this could be 7 games and as you can see, home court doesn't really matter. Everybody's won on their own home court.
Yeah.
They've lost and won 1 each on home court. So this to me is the most entertaining series.
Oh yeah, hands down. Most entertaining series in the first round. And this is actually not an indictment against the rest of the playoffs. Playoffs have been great. Yeah. It's just that this series in particular has been absolute must-see TV. I'm sorry, NBC, but it's just the truth. It has,
because you're seeing you're seeing Anthony Edwards arrive before our eyes.
That's what I love the most. Him. The fact I'm seeing this talent, he's actually coming into his own. He's 20 and he's coming into his own now, and he has the big stage and he's not shrinking from it. I love that the most.
Yeah.
And this is me saying that my favorite player to watch is Ja Morant today in the NBA.
He's hands down to me, he's the most exciting player right now.
Oh yeah, it's not even a question. But the most exciting part about this series, you mentioned it, Anthony Edwards' elevation and evolution. The fact that he is taking upon himself and saying to the world, this number one overall that I was chosen last year, that wasn't a fluke. The Timberwolves knew what they were doing, and here's proof. I love it. Yeah. Love it. A quick aside, and I'm going to take a big break. I'm going to take a small one, and we're going to talk about from the most exciting series to the most celebrated. But I have to talk about it in only the way SITM with Cole Johnson can. Quick moment.
In case you Bronsexuals don't know by now, LeBron has never been the face of the NBA, although people want to claim he's the face of the NBA, when there's a fellow in Oakland, California that kind of snatched the mantle from Kobe by hitting a 3 in his face. What impact has LeBron James had on the NBA? I'll answer that for you. Nothing.
Jabroni, Jabroni.
Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning.
And down the stretch we come on this Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am Cole Johnson. Brian is not here for the I would say for the third consecutive week, or I should say the beginning of the fourth consecutive week, but it's for a good reason. He's healing and he's getting better, and he loves you all. He sends his love to all of you. But joining me, of course, is Wise El Jefe, who joins me every Monday. And we have broken down the playoffs, the NBA playoffs, all this episode, and we saved the best, the worst. Okay, or I'll say we have saved the most soap opera-ish thing for last. So the Nets and the Celtics. I'll breeze by the Celtics first, because the Nets, you have to just talk about them with a grain of salt.
That's wrong. That's just wrong, though. Like Boston is playing a hell of a series, man, and yet everyone is just focusing on Kevin Durant. You're not giving Boston the credit that they deserve.
That's where I wanted to go. That's exactly where I wanted to go.
That's my problem. Is Kevin Durant? Listen, Boston is playing a hell of a defense on him.
That's where I wanted to go with that.
Like, seriously, like if you're true fans of the sport and the game, you can see what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Boston is playing D. Boston
is
no joke. They're the number one D for a reason.
Yep.
For a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter who you are.
No.
Because they're gonna come at you regardless.
And I love it. I love it. I love that they're physical like that.
And with the reigning defensive player of the year,
and Marcus Smart,
Mr. Williams coming back.
That you said it in hour number one. The fact that they're causing this much havoc without
him.
Without him. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. With him?
Oh, imagine what's gonna happen now. And then you got the drama with, KD is getting abused, is not showing up. Listen, man, this man has got pressure on him. And then y'all worried about is Ben Simmons gonna play. Go ahead, play that missing thing again, man. Like,
oh yeah, no problem. Go ahead and talk. I got you.
I got you. We didn't see him for the whole. We haven't seen him since last year. Have you seen this man? He's missing. He's gonna be missing. He's gonna continue to be missing. Stop dreaming about him coming. He's not playing this year. Get off that. Move
Please.
on. You need to do something because bashing KD is not the answer.
No.
You cannot blame him for the way Boston is manhandling him. You can't.
Oh,
he doesn't have no help.
Thank you. That has been my number one issue all around with all of that. I'm like, Durant has not had any help in getting free and all of that. But before I touch on anything Nets, I have to give the roses to the Celtics. Marcus Smart, who he on Saturday he is awarded this year's Defensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so. I may add, showed that offensively he could do work. He dropped 14. Pritchard off the bench, who's been pretty good the last 2 games, he scored 10. You had Horford, who had an off night with 3 points but only took 2 shots, but it's excused because these 2 studs. Have you ever heard them? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They combined for scoring 62 points.
Law for Brown and Tatum.
Yeah, Brown and Tatum, right? But Brown dropped 23, and he dropped a lot of those in the second half. And Jason Tatum, 39. Forget just the 39 points, but yes, 39 points. That's huge. 6 assists, 6 steals. If you want to think that it is a misnomer, or it's just absolute pie in the sky that the Celtics don't play defense, their best player ended up with 6 steals in the game, in the last game they played.
and when your best player isn't just only about offense, and plays D, pretty good D at that.
Yes, he does.
Pretty good D. And again, under 25 years old. It's a problem, man.
Yeah.
Listen. KD is KD, but he's also older. He's also coming back from the Achilles thing. He's probably still not whatever, but y'all need to stop discrediting this Boston team. Like, you need to give Boston their due. This is what they've been doing since January. Since they turned the new year. I don't know what they did in Boston, but they flipped some switch. And these boys are playing D. You're not going to come down and you're not going to bully them. Nope. You're not going to take these boards from them. You're not going to outwork them. And that's the thing. When you got your whole squad outworking KD, then that's a problem. KD can't have an answer for everyone else. What do you think? 1 versus 5? No. There's other people around him that aren't doing. Yes, he's not doing KD things, KD stuff. But again, the top defense in the league.
Yeah.
And during the playoffs, it tends to intensify. It
always does. Defensively, sure, it always does.
The screws tend to get a little bit more tighter.
Yeah, the pressure gets ratcheted up. Yeah,
and you didn't think, you thought what, Boston? You thought Boston was a joke? You thought Boston was a fluke? That defense was a joke? No.
Here's what I really believe they thought, and you're closer to the area than I am. People, and I think along with it, they thought that Boston's defense was a joke because they thought that, the Nets, that they have the 2 best offensive players on a given team. Well, heck, they can shoot their way into the next round. Problem. When you have 2 ISO players, a defense as skilled as the Celtics will know how to eliminate that, which they have done effectively with Kyrie the last 2 games, and to me, effectively with Durant all 3. And that's why I was like, okay, I have to talk about how good the Celtics defense has been before I even get on the Nets at all, because I don't think I have seen a defense be this physically aggressive against a player, dare say, since possibly the Jordan Rules era with the bad boy Pistons with Jordan. I don't think I've ever seen a whole. I mean, all 5 players are like, okay, we'll take turns making him feel us.
Yeah,
we're gonna be physical. We're not gonna be dirty. We're gonna be physical. We're gonna make him work. We want him to be 2 hands on knees in the 4th quarter going because he's had to put so much effort into just freeing himself to get the ball, to get an entry pass.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to work even harder once he gets the pass to get to the spot where he wants to shoot, whether it's in the post, mid-range, or 3. He's going to have to do work. And that's what we're seeing. And all I have to do is just applaud the Sixers because of that. I mean, applaud the Celtics because of that. They defensively are a beast. Now, as far as the Nets go, to me, it goes down to what this space cadet had to say post-game after game 3.
You're all just trying to gel, and usually you're gelling around the right time, and that team in the other locker room is gelling at the right time. They've been gelling since Christmas. I don't want to be too cliche, but I don't have a lot of answers for how you make up time, from October until now, when, usually teams would be gelling and things would be feeling good.
But before you say anything, bro, this is the energy I'm feeling.
Have a Coke and a smile and shut up.
Bitch, please.
Bitch, are you for real? You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
Of all the people who were talking about a team gelling, you mentioned gelling? Really? You, Kyrie Irving, you mentioned gelling.
You for real, Mr. Part-Time? Mr. Part-Time, you really talking about gelling? Like, how you expect a team to gel when you only play half of the game? And then, yeah, I don't understand. Like,
see, it's that type of stuff that upsets me about this team. Earlier in the week, earlier last week, people were saying that that Kyrie and Durant are more skilled than D Wade and LeBron. Of course, LeBron being LeBron, keeping his name up in the consciousness of all NBA fans. He said, "Yep, 100, they are." And these 3 games have come to say otherwise, for the exception of Kyrie's performance in game 1. And I'm hearing this fool talking about gelling, and he didn't play 2/3 of the schedule. This man talking about gelling. This man is talking about a team gelling. Yeah, the part-time player talking about gelling. I'm like, oh my gosh. See, this is why I'm so frustrated about the Nets. Because you have that space cadet saying stuff like that, who I call Uncle AWOL, or the woke people's champion, or the rebel without a cause. He just says things that just make you infuriated. It's like, dude, just own up to the fact that you're playing up against a team that just knows you better than you think that you know yourselves, obviously, and that you all do not have the horses. It is just that simple.
They don't. They definitely
Because,
don't.
right.
You for real?
I'm sorry. I mean, because and that wasn't directed to you, man. It's the Kyrie. I mean, I can go down the list and say, look, I applaud you. I applaud you guys. You had 6 guys who were in double figures. You had Bruce Brown be your lead scorer Saturday with 26.
That's a problem. That's a problem when Bruce Brown is your leading scorer.
Yeah. So I can go on the list Bruce Brown at 26 and Seth Curry with 10 and Claxton with 13 and Mills with 12. You had to have Patty Mills score in order for you to have a chance of winning that game, because you had Irving, who was off even though he scored 16 because he could hit the broadside of a barn from 3 and just decided to continue to shoot from 3. And you had Durant, who also scored 16 but only shot 11 times. It's not even about the stats to me. It's just about, to me, with the Nets, it's about the fact that they are such the soap opera. Because if it isn't about if it isn't about Kyrie and his mission, whatever that mission may be, then it's about Durant and the fact that obviously he cannot corral the team, or he's having issues. And yes, those issues to me are not just self-inflicted. To me, it's actually more inflicted by the opponent, because they're knowing how to defend him. And if it isn't about those two, it's about the guy who isn't on the court and is dressed on the sideline looking like he's a member of the Suns on Saturday in Ben Simmons. 10 months, 5 days you have set foot on the court last, and we haven't seen you anywhere on the court with a jersey on. And it's to the point where we all were, I wasn't clamoring for this, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. In fact, Brian said it. Brian beat me to it when he said it. Well, I said to him before the series began, well, they say that Simmons is going to be playing in game 4. Brian was like, he ain't going to suit up and play. That dude ain't seen any part of the court. And sure enough, he's not. And it's to the point where it's like I feel like Reggie Miller. He took to Twitter and all I had to do is applaud what he said, because he's on point with what he said. Quote, "Come on, man. Off of game 4 when it was rumored you were going to make your debut. This dude has 0 competitive fire emoji. ... As small a chance as the Nets having to come back in the series, you still have KD and Kyrie. All you need is to win 1 game and take it from there. ... Emoji, man up." Close quote. You know how like you were, you know how like you say you're through with Bronsexuals. I'm through with these Nets. I'm through with these Nets because it's like a soap opera. It's like I want to label them as the Nets' turn. It's ridiculous, man.
Bro, you ain't got to tell me. I'm tired of hearing Brooklyn Nets fans. Believe me, I have friends that I just want to say, but I let them talk. I let them, they be, believe me, they be bad talking my Knicks about, oh yeah, we're the true team in New York. Oh, no. My team has a bright future. I'm happy with my team. I'm so glad we didn't sign those 2 guys. I am so glad.
I'm glad for you. I seriously. And
I wasn't really thrilled when I heard that they want. No, I didn't want them. I didn't want them over here. I wanted the Knicks to do what they're doing now, which is build through the draft.
Yeah, which is smart.
Because I saw what they did in Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
They build from within.
Mm-hmm.
This again, another thing LeBron ruined was free agency, with this idea that a big 3 is always going to win you titles.
Yeah. And now the Nets are learning. Not so much.
No. Not at all. Because what you take away from having those big three is having a bench.
Right.
It is having capable players coming off said bench when your big 2 or 3 aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's just
I'm over it. I'm like
the Nets fluster me. It's as if
they don't fluster me because I don't care.
It's as if they want to be a soap opera more than they want to be a basketball team. And no, I'm over it. I'm over it. Okay,
yeah, I need to drop man. Yeah, drop me. No.
Yeah. All right. So we have come to the end of this particular program, and I enjoyed this, as I always enjoy with one wise El Jefe. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on all major platforms, Stuck in My Mind Podcast. I'm on YouTube as well, Stuck in My Mind Podcast. You can check out Snowman in the Morning every single day on Real Wise Radio.
Appreciate that.
And yeah.
And you can check me out on Cole Sports with a Z. That's Cole Sports with a Z on YouTube, where I come with material every day. And you can check out me here every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern, that is. As I always are one half of this show. And look, I do it only because I have you all out there, and I love you guys. I love Wise as well. I love Brian as well. And until we do this again tomorrow, take care. God bless. And always remember, make your next move your best move. And if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. Wise is doing that. The interactors, they're doing that. I'm doing that. Brian is too. We hope you're doing too. We hope you're doing it too, because if you dream big, you'll be able to do bigger. For all of us here at Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, I am Cole Johnson of Cole Sports. Wishing you a goodbye until tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the hottest of hot takes and the coldest of cold, hard facts.